This is a sneak peek video on creating wall openings in Adapt Builder 2018, and this will be released this summer. You could see Builder 2018 is a new UI. It's ribbon based with Project Browser. Um, we have different tabs here that allow the user to create modeling inputs, set up criteria, visibility, modification, etc. Some of the icons are still being worked on, so you might see this red square that indicates a placeholder for icons. So what I've done is created a model with one slab, one wall. The wall is 10 feet, or excuse me, 20 feet long. And you'll notice down at the bottom corner there's that mark that we've created. This is a reference point for wall openings. So whenever you look at the elevation of a wall, the reference point is always here. The direction to the start of the opening, for example, if this is our opening, this is going to be the S direction. This is going to be the R direction, and that's the current setting. When this is released, this will actually become R and this will become Z. So right now we just have a couple of placeholders for the reference point. So we define the reference point of the opening, and then we define the width and the height of the opening. We'll do that for this wall. I'll go ahead and double click on the wall. Under location, we can add an opening. This S direction in this case is going to be 4 feet. The R direction will be 0. And then the width of the opening we're going to say is 10 feet. The height is 8 feet. And we'll save that. And you can see that opening has been added to this wall shown here. Now if I wanted to copy this up, I'll just select the components including the wall with the opening. Under modify, we're going to use reference plane copy, and we're going to copy this, let's say 15 times at a distance of 10 feet. I now have multiple levels copied. If I go to full structure view, you can see the openings. This might be a core wall where we have elevators or some other large opening needed for that purpose. If I go back to visibility in the rendering of the model, you can see the opening there. And so now what we're going to do is just take advantage of the openings in terms of the solution. So I'll go here to loading. I'm going to add some seismic load to this, and we'll just use the seismic load wizard EQX. I'll bump this up so we have something fairly substantial for a smaller model like this. We'll apply this. Under the load combinations, I'm going to add under strength 1 times EQX just to include that with the gravity loads. I'll now mesh the model, so I'll go over here to analysis. We're going to mesh and just to note, multiple openings can be added to any wall. So here we're just adding one opening, but you can add multiple openings. If we analyze the structure now for strength, including the EQX, we'll go ahead and analyze. And you can see as I build my model, the project browser, which mainly controls the visibility of the components, of the levels, both for the structural modeling, the finite elements, nodes, shell elements, supports, etc., and loads, those are all now contained within this project browser. So the user can control this visibility within the browser versus controlling it through the old select set view items options. So that's done. We'll go now to results, and I'll just open up the viewer, and you can see in this view, if I, for example, turn on the X direction and I look at the contours, actually let me turn on the global direction and I'll turn on the 3D. We can see the behavior of the walls. It might be easier if we go ahead and isolate just one level. I'll just randomly select plane 6 here, and I'm also going to turn off the slab. Let's see. Let's just turn on the walls there. So if we pull that up, we can see that bending behavior where this might actually be a link beam. We need to obtain forces or stresses in the link beam for the design of that component. So let's go ahead and I'll rotate that even further or scale that further, and you can see those actions just from this deformed shape in the viewer. In the result display settings, the user then would have the option to explore the stresses within those link beams. And one thing that we are doing for build 1 is we're going to have the ability to cut sections vertically, like for a spandrel element, over the openings, over these beams, for example. You don't have to model it as a beam, it will be a wall, but you can cut vertical section cuts and export that data to an Excel file. So that just gives a little bit of a sneak peek on wall openings in Builder. If you have any questions, please contact support@adaptsoft.com. Thank you.